It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
What's going on, Tom?
My man, 50 grand.
Who?
Chicks, my man, 50 grand.
Oh,
Is that still a thing?
I'll tell you that every time.
About 20 years ago.
Okay. Try.
Fam. Try fam. Fam's less out. But
My
it's
fam,
still out.
50 grand.
No.
What up, fam?
50 grand.
Try that. What up, fam?
What's up, fam?
Yeah. Perfect. To save time, I'm going to say perfect.
Come on, baby, let's do the Twitch.
Yeah.
We learned that yesterday. Chick McGee, of course, at the orangeinsoles.com sports desk. And the big news in sports is...
Tiger Woods, not Bobby Darin passing away.
No, it wasn't Bobby Darin. Oh, by the way, Bobby
was
Darin.
it?
Bobby Darin is deceased.
Bobby Rydell.
Quite some time.
Bobby Rydell, Bobby Darin. Which one was it?
You're getting confused with, there was an actor named James Darin.
Whatever.
Who, I believe, wasn't he on The Time Tunnel? God, I love that show.
The Time Tunnel.
Oh, great show. One of the early television sci-fi shows.
Is that It's About Time? It's about space?
No,
that's a different one?
The Time Tunnel.
The Time Tunnel was sort of a serious show where they'd run into this tunnel and they'd end up in a different place.
Oh, really? Like ancient Rome and the dinosaurs?
Yeah, it was great.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But they were tiny, right?
Kind of a Stargate
They were tiny people.
No, you're thinking of
Land of the Giants.
Fantastic voice.
Land of the Giants is the tiny people. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was James Darin. You're right, though. That's the same era. Bobby Rydell and
That was a Bobby Darin.
There we go.
who else was it in that? Frankie Avalon. That was the
Avalon,
era.
yeah.
There wasn't a Bobby Darin?
There was, of
Yeah,
course.
Bobby Darin.
Smack the knife, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and he died many, many years ago. A very talented guy.
You say so.
Very.
Oh, you don't think? Oh, super talented.
Somewhere.
But Bobby
Beyond
Rydell, of course,
the sea.
once again in one of my favorite movies, Bye Bye Birdie, which I highly recommend. And sadly, he's gone. We talked about it yesterday. It's
I
kind of
wonder if
sad.
the rental of Bye Bye Birdie went up yesterday just because people were...
I don't think it works like
No
that.
way.
What do you mean it doesn't work like
I don't
that?
think it works like that. It's a rental.
Supply
I don't
and
think
demand.
they can goose it immediately.
Oh, I think so. I think she's right. You go on your TV and you search.
Bye Bye
If it was
Birdie
like
and rent it.
$3.99 yesterday, it could be $8.99 today.
No, I meant people...
I don't think that could do it.
No.
Oh, no. You mean the number of?
Not
What are
a
you
number of
talking
people.
about?
Number of viewers.
You're right.
See, my problem is I don't know what I can say and what I can't see, and I'm out here walking blind. And I got a feeling it's Godwin's fault. That's all I
You know,
know.
we pissed him
That's
off
all
somehow. I don't know what happened.
Don't throw we into
Don't
it.
drag me. Don't you drag me. You stay out of this. It's your fault.
I merely bristled when he
You're-
brought up the write a song
you're
immediately.
just a diva
Calm
waiting
down.
to happen.
I will
No,
not
Christy, I think
stand
you're
here.
right.
I will not sit here
Yeah,
while you
what?
attack Bobby Rydell.
I think you're right.
We
It
were
hasn't
also
gone up.
And your contention is that's why they named it Rydell High, because of Bobby Rydell?
They said that in the obit.
absolutely.
They said that in the open.
Yeah, in the New York Times.
In the movie Grease, they named the school.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. Tell him. Tell him, Tom. Yeah.
Beat him
My
yet
honey's
again.
so smart. He knows all of it. Tell him, Tom. Oh, look how smart he is.
Oh, look at this.
Times.
Dear Bob
If
and
only
Tom
we
show.
met earlier,
Please
Tom.
alert Chick that he better leave because the rehearsal for the band Bucket O'Dicks is starting in 5 minutes. And I understand
Me?
he's the lead
Me?
singer.
Oh, really?
I understand.
How much of that did you make up?
All of it.
I would say 100%.
All of it. He's just,
See,
here-
the theater
it
of
was
the mind is
convincing,
when I grabbed
No,
the
no.
paper and
Here's
did a Rush Limbaugh.
Here's another email. I just got this email in. Oh,
Okay.
why don't Tom and Christy go do their own show? That's a great idea. That's a fabulous idea. Then you could agree with him, and I don't have to
No
sit
one-
here.
What's the name of that? The author of that email?
Austin Card.
Oh, okay. How about that?
How about that?
How did he get
I got an email.
Oh, you did? What does it say, Pat?
Why don't I do the songs? Why doesn't Pat just do the songs he wrote and prepared for the show?
Boy, he's not gonna. You weren't in here for the commercial break.
What happened? Oh, really? I got thrown under the bus?
It's all about me. That's right.
I like how initially Pat was in that room because of COVID, and now he's in that room because they need to divide Pat and my dad, or they'll kill each other.
But they're best
Right.
friends. They're best friends.
There's a fine line between love and
Demand to
hate.
know what was said.
You guys have a real just Jim and Pam thing, a Sam and Diane thing. You guys just got
I
to smooch.
prefer to think of it as Jim and Tammy Faye.
Oh, do you?
That was a good movie. Did you watch
And
that?
by the way,
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm not texting anybody anything later, apology or otherwise. Okay, you all can kiss my ass.
About what?
Yeah, those days are over. Suck
Those
it
days
up.
are over.
You're on a morning comedy
That's
show.
right.
Well, we had a fascinating story
Tag
about I guess, a semi-famous rapper in Maryland. Had you ever heard of this guy? Anybody?
No, Goo New?
Goonew. I would assume it's Goonew.
Yep.
But
That's what I would
he
say.
was killed last month, sadly. His actual given name, Markel Morrow. Beautiful name, Markel. That's a great name. But they had a celebration of life at a nightclub, and
In Atlanta,
they had his body,
propped him up.
on the stage, all kind of
Creepy.
scarecrowed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's standing up. We'll touch base with that when we come back.
Hey, check.
Also,
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Goo.
Goo who?
Goo New's dead.
well, that was a way to bring a lot of air into the room.
Wasn't there a guy who was buried in?
I'm sorry.
He
What?
passed away, and they put him in his recliner, and he had
Yeah.
Washington
Yeah.
football team
Yeah.
on. He
Yes.
looked just like me. Remember?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Then there
he
was
was
the-
overweight, had dark hair, just like me.
Then
That's
there
what
was the
Tom
guy.
said. Yeah.
I could not say that.
That's before we had the other overweight guy.
The man's attacking.
He's got to have an overweight
I
guy.
said nothing.
Yeah, got to have a fat guy. Pat Godwin's there with his guitar having a problem, of course.
I'm going to
for some
make
reason.
it even worse for him.
Oh, boy.
That's what he said during the break. He goes, "Watch this. This will really drive him. This is really going to drive him nuts."
Why is he doing this?
No, I want you to say
Aren't you lucky?
this is like a magic trick. I want everyone to know I have not prepared anything with any of you. Is that correct?
That's
Correct.
correct.
Exactly right.
Nothing up my sleeve.
As was
Right.
exhibited during the first break. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. No, this is very simple.
All right.
I'll make a request. Josh, what is your favorite Beatles song?
Oh, my gosh. Maybe Day in the Life?
Ooh, ask me.
Oh, Hey Jude? Is that your favorite?
I just discovered my favorite Beatles song not 6 months ago.
And?
Maybe 8 months ago. It's called I've Got a Feeling from
I love that one.
That is good.
I've got a feeling deep down. Yeah,
that
then
is
John
good.
starts
From Let It
singing.
Be,
and,
yeah.
Christy, your favorite Beatles song?
Come together.
Come Together? Okay.
Really? That's interesting.
timed it
Ace,
right,
do you have a favorite Beatles song?
Probably Blackbird.
Blackbird.
Oh, it's wonderful.
No. Blackbeard. You misheard.
Okay, Blackbeard.
It's about
Okay.
the Yo-Ho Pirate, Blackbeard.
Blackbird Robin.
Willie, do you have a favorite Beatles song?
Today.
Maybe Golden Slumbers.
Ooh, that's kind of a hard
That's a
one.
medley. That's a long one.
No, that's the really short one. It's a part of
Once
a big...
there was a way.
There you
Yeah, Pat's got it.
Get back home. Get back home.
To shut chick up.
Oh, wait a minute.
I like when chick talks.
Dear Chick, an
Wait a
actual
second.
email.
I'm not finished with my setup here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Shocking.
That's a good one. Okay, now, Pat, of all those songs that they've mentioned, which one do you have the greatest facility at playing?
The truth is that I actually know all of those.
Okay, and is there any that you prefer to do?
To woo the ladies in the past, I would sing Little Blackbird.
Little
Right.
Blackbird.
Yes.
Okay.
Day in the Life is as fun and easy. I could do all those.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Then here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read you the headlines of. Excuse me. I'm going to read Christy.
Yeah.
The headlines
Right.
of 4 stories.
Yeah.
And then Christy, you pick one, and then Pat, you have to match it with a Beatles song.
I'll do
and
Day in
come
the
up with a
Life like
parody.
Josh said, the very first one he said.
Okay, we'll see. Now, Christy,
I win.
4. I'll give you 4 options.
All right.
The Antarctica post office story,
Right.
the teenage gorilla
Yeah.
story at the Chicago Zoo,
Zoo.
Oh, yeah, it was killed, wasn't it?
the new beer.
Oh.
You know which
Just
one
in
that is?
time for the end of Lent.
Okay,
Yes.
the beer designed for the end of Lent, or the mushrooms that talk to each other. Which one of those stories do you want to throw at Pat?
Oh, my God.
You're welcome, Pat.
What, you're doing Day in the Life?
Yeah, the first one that Josh said is the one I'll do.
You know
Let's
he
make
has
it,
songs prepared. He's been rehearsing all morning.
Yeah, I know.
I
Do you
got
have
here
songs
at 2.
for any of those 4
Got here
stories?
at
No.
2 in the morning. Because evidently he can't go home anymore.
No, I can't
They
go.
won't leave him alone. I don't know what the
Oh, the girl's knocking on my door.
Day in the Life.
What do you got? Which one do you like?
Maybe the Antarctic post office because
Okay, there we go. That's all you need to know. there's a gig available at the post office in Antarctica. We'll find out
I
about
wonder
that
what
story.
a day in the life would be.
Do you have the
up there.
story, Pat? Want me to send it to you?
I do have that story.
Okay, good. Well, good luck with it. Now, Al Jackson is featured, of course, as one of the panelists on DBL, Daily Blast Live. I've watched the show a lot, and they never let you be funny enough. But
Well, sometimes the story coming up, you got to watch that because I've done that before. Where you're making jokes and like two young girls were lost. You're like, hey, all right.
I watched it a couple weeks ago, and you guys were interviewing a husband and wife who had 18 kids or something.
Yeah.
And
what?
And this one of you asked, so why do you think you had 18 kids? And the wife goes, I just always have loved children. And the other male anchor on the show went, okay. It was just like,
that's my buddy Jeff Schroeder from him and his wife won Big Brother. He finished third. Yeah, but they met at Big Brother. But that's my buddy Jeff. He has two kids. I have three. It's just looking at that story. I get Tom, you can probably weigh in on this because you told me this, and I've actually repeated it to people. You said after 4, it doesn't matter how many you have. You're not overwhelmed anymore. Yeah. So would that apply to 18?
I don't know. That's a little rough. But hey, whatever.
That's a lot.
18. Whew.
Yeah,
I think if you have them back to back to back, it just kind of almost like when you watch the 18 kids and it just like it becomes almost like a conveyor belt. Like the kids just come in. There's 100 stacks of white bread, 100 stacks of Velveeta cheese, 100 stacks of ham, and they just make it. Everything is kind of conveyor belt style.
I'm surprised someone didn't throw out that alleged Groucho line.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I take my cigar out of my mouth.
Right. I like smoking, but sometimes.
Yeah, sure. Al, this creeped me out, and they probably won't let you do this on the show, but you are certainly a well-schooled fan in the world of rap and hip-hop. And we had a very unusual story yesterday, and I don't know if you saw this, about the sadly deceased rapper. They held the funeral for him in a nightclub, and they didn't have the body in a casket. They had it propped up scarecrow style on stage with strobe lights. Did you see this story?
Tom, what are the chances that I didn't see this story?
Pretty slim.
Me and the homies have been on the group thread talking about this. One of my friends went down a propped up dead body rabbit hole, if you will.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I know, like especially in Southern culture, and especially like when you start talking about Creole, Louisiana, New Orleans, and outskirts culture, there is a thing. Obviously, they do the circle line where if you pass away, like there's a little mini parade that goes around.
Right.
But there's also a thing where a lot of people, especially down south, will when they pass away, they want to die in the place that they had the most good times. And a lot of times it's like in a nightclub where like there was a picture of a guy sitting at his poker table.
Yeah, I saw that.
Super dead. Mm-hmm. But like he looked like Weekend at Bernie's, but if he was mixed with like Lee Trevino, just like a tiny little man sitting at his poker table. But, that's the way people want to go out. Just like literally we'll have a glass of scotch and they'll put playing cards in their hand and they'll just sit there while the other people dance. It's super weird.
Were you familiar with Gnu, the hip-hop artist?
No, I had never heard of him, but it seems like he was pretty famous locally. And I think that's one of the things that like is really underrated, especially like when you're into hip-hop. Is like a lot of stuff is regional. Mm-hmm. Like it's really hard to make it national, but like you can be like they said, locally famous, or another way to say that, Tom is hood famous.
Oh, yeah.
Hood famous?
Oh, that means just in your neighborhood?
Yeah, just in your neighborhood. And sometimes, Master P originally was hood famous. I think everybody's kind of probably, even think about this. Let's just say you're a star high school athlete.
Yeah.
You're hood famous until you make it to college. Now you might be nationally famous, but for a while, you're just like, oh, that really good kid that goes to that high school. So, yeah.
So, but the sad thing for this rap artist is that he's gone beyond being hood famous only because he's dead. And they've scarecrowed him at the nightclub. And
it was very strange. And, like, the thing is, everybody that I showed the clip to, just couldn't understand what they were looking at first, because he's hung up like those guys in Beetlejuice that were like filing stuff in hell. He's hung up like that, and so it's it's just like I've never seen anything like it in my life. But and there's hundreds of people at the club like dancing.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, I wanted to change his rap name to Ice Cold. In honor of all.
Yeah, earlier Al talking to you, he said, sadly, this man died. Do you think he's been referring to it as a sad thing until he spoke to you about it? Or do you think...
You think he's been making fun of it as hard as he can go.
You don't like Ice Cold. How about Lil Stiff? I know Lil's a big rap thing.
Well, did you go over this? I wasn't listening. What Christy came up for with it? Ice Dick, Al.
That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
About Ice Richie then?
You said Ice Pick. She was riffing. It was
Yeah.
Ice Pick.
Okay, Al. Will they let you do that show on Daily Blast Live?
No, I don't even think they'd let me say Ice Richie, which is the best name.
Anyway, Al, we got to move forward here quickly. Do you have a word for me? I mean, I've already learned Hood Famous. I like that one.
Tom, well, let's go with Hood Famous so we can learn two really quickly. So, if you can be Hood Famous, you can also be Hood Rich. What is Hood Rich?
Well, Hood Famous means you're only famous locally. So Hood Rich.
We should back up here, Al, and I should tell you that this morning, first thing we said good morning on the show, Tom looked at me and said, "My man, 50 grand." This morning. That just happened this morning.
Al taught me my man 50
It's
grand.
hardwired into him.
Yeah.
Like that's how he greets people now.
He can't stop.
I'm here for it, Tom. Keep going.
Don't encourage
Follow
it.
your inner God, Tom.
It's not great, though, especially when my buddy Floyd comes over and he hits him with it. It's not a good look. I'll tell you that right now.
You got to take Floyd in another room and be like, "That's not you, okay? Not you."
How would Hood Rich differ than being Hood Famous?
Well, all things are relative, right? So I'm guessing that Hood Rich would be.
I see.
You've got the most money in your neighborhood.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Yeah, and don't forget too, like you can't spend a lot of times money that's gained illegally. You can't really spend it everywhere, because then sometimes the FBI, the IRS will be like, "Wow, how'd you buy 2 houses this week?" So you don't want that. You want kind of just money that's around. You can spend a couple $100 here and there, nightclubs, get nice furniture, pay cash. So like Hood Rich is kind of like, you have the most money in that area, but also like you're kind of, if you have gotten that through other alternative means, you kind of own things that keep you in that neighborhood because you can't really leave. Geographically, but you can have nice stuff inside of wherever you are.
So it implies that the money was obtained illegally, certainly.
Yes.
Check out Al Jackson, Daily Blast Live.
Yes.
And, Al does the occasional live stand-up show. They're always great.
I do.
Thanks, Al. We'll look forward to talking to you again. We have given a challenge to Mr. Pat Godwin and the room next door. Pat, by the way, May 7th at the Astra Theater in Jasper, Indiana.
At the Astra Theater.
And then May 14th, it's a Saturday night, Lebowski's in Washington, Iowa. Well, that's cool. And then
Where's the money, Lebowski?
this summer, July 20 through 24, it's McCurdy's in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Cool Florida thing.
Now, this is not a Florida-like story. It's about Antarctica.
Yeah, that's right. They're looking for a new postmaster there. The UK Antarctic Heritage Trust looking for someone to run the post office at Port Lockroy on Goudier Island from November to March 2023.
Named, of course, after the great singer Robert Goudier.
Goudier.
Of course.
The good news is that is summer in Antarctica, so the temperature averages about 50 during the day, so it won't be as cold. The remote post office sees about 80,000 pieces of mail a season, and the job also requires counting penguins and other wildlife for the British Antarctic Survey, with a report needed to be filed by the end of employment.
Pat was laughing there and holding his head. Did some of the facts get in the way of some of your jokes?
They sure did.
It's freezing.
all right.
It's freezing cold there in Antarctica, and there's polar bears and Santa Claus.
All
Okay,
right.
go ahead, Pat.
Okay. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Beatles song "Day in the Life" is what Josh asked for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Yeah, thank you.
I read the want ads today, oh boy, about a job down in Antarctica. Although the pace is rather cold, the pay is pretty good. In a frozen neighborhood, except for the summer, it's 50. You count the penguins, deliver mail, and spend your nights thawing out your balls. Not a woman around for miles. So I watch pornography on ancient DVDs. I want to go, woke up, got out of bed, put a ski mask on my head, made my way outside, went back inside. Hey, I tried, I'm flying back home. I'm reading want ads again. Oh boy.
Very good.
My guitar went out. So
Nice, a home run on the first day of baseball season, Pat. Very well done.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker. If you just like that video, then do your part. Like and subscribe. You have to. It's state law.